Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over Gasoline Trader. Some people wanted to have me do some market replay, so I'm going to be showing you guys just for when it's released, how you can download data to test it, and kind of what you're going to want to change. So just getting ready for the release. Alright, so right now we are on the RB12 contracts, okay, and we'll just download last week's data. Okay, so you want to go into the market replay and download whatever time frame you want to download. And remember, the RB gasoline and crude oil contracts, they change like every month. Okay, so keep that in mind. Once you download the RB for the week you want, then you need to download the same week for crude oil. Okay, otherwise it will not test correctly. Okay. So make sure you do that. Once that is done, you can X out, and you're just going to want to connect to playback connection. And then here we'll click the date you want. There you go. And now if I pull up my chart, all right. So we got the date we wanted. We wanted the right here to there. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to go into our strategies. This is where it'll be for you. Okay. Click on the RB. You can see here. I might have to actually change mine in the code. Let me just double check that really quick on another screen so that you guys can't see the exact code. Just give me 1 second. So you guys won't have to look in the code for when it is released. It is just for what's going on with it right now, but you guys will not have to look into the code at all to change anything. So you have no need to worry about that. Okay. So yeah, that's basically it there. Nothing to worry about with code. It's all going to be inside of the actual strategies here. So there we go, we're done with that. If I go to my strategies, re-add it. We're going to change the profit target to just a high number. Okay, profit target per position. This is how much money you want it to sell you at, and here stop loss, how much you want it to sell you at if you're down. Okay, time start right here. This is 2 a.m. for me. Okay, so usually we run it from, it'd be about 3 a.m. Eastern until about 9 a.m. Eastern. So I'm going to change this to about just 8 a.m. which would be that for me. Okay, and then so it's only going to run from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. for me. Okay, and then you can run it on whatever time frame you want, but obviously the one we use is 15 minutes, so I'm going to change that to 15 minute. And then your screen should look like this. Okay, should look like this. And again, yeah, make sure you click the enabled button, right? And then basically you click play, and we're gonna turn the thing up to max. Okay, and then it's going to start trading for us once it hits 2. You can see there it took a long position, and we have these triggers, right? We have these triggers that if it moves up a certain amount and then pulls back on you, it'll exit you. So the trailing threshold hopefully works better there, right? So we made about 650 there, right? And also just remember, we usually do not trade Tuesdays. Okay, so you can see there that Monday was $650 in profit. So now Tuesday, I'll show you guys Tuesday here once we keep fast forwarding. But yeah, we usually do not trade Tuesdays. Okay, so you're gonna want to usually disarm on Tuesdays because that's when the news is, right? You don't want to be trading with the news for gasoline or crude oil, whatever. And also with the war going on right now, usually is a little more inconsistent, right? So right about now, should start taking some trades if there is a proper setup. See there, it took a long, moving down on us and stopped out. So there we lost about, what was that, 700? or down about $100 total now. So right there is exactly why we don't trade Tuesdays. It just is a higher probability of a loss. Okay, so Monday we made 650. We'd usually disarm for Tuesday. So technically on the week, not including Tuesday, we'd be up about $650. Okay, and then now we are going into Wednesday morning. Here we go. Long position, small win. Long position, big win. Short position, stop. So only ended up making a couple $100 there. This first one had a little trigger. You can mess around with these, right? But one of those triggers hit us out for a small gain, then a big gain here. And then we entered into a short position here. And usually, I actually limit myself. So right here, we were actually up like $1,300 on the day. And usually, I tend to set my profit target to $1,200. Okay, so if it gets up to $1,200 in a single night, it just stops trading. Because usually, if it is up $1,200, it does tend to, if it does take another trade, it does tend to lose. It doesn't usually win 3 in a row in one night. So there actually would have been a $1,200 win for me that night. Okay, it wouldn't have taken that trade if my profit target was already hit for the day. So keep that in mind. Play around with it. So if I was trading it how I personally do, I'd be up about $1,800 on the week from last week, because I set it to $1,200 and it stops. So it wouldn't have taken that loss there. Okay. So now going into this Thursday, short, small win. And again, you can play around with the triggers, because you can see the trigger hit us out there for a small win, but it actually would have been a big win. And then this trigger actually did save us from a loss. I mean, they're there to obviously help you not lose, but you want to keep that in mind. So so again, yeah, on the week at this point, I'd be up roughly $2,100 if I limited my not trading Tuesday, and then limiting my take profit to $1,200, which is what I usually run it at. Here, $1,100 loss. Took one loss there, one full loss. And again, you got to remember the gasoline trader is a bit more inconsistent with the war going on, right? With the war going on, a little more inconsistent. But we do have a consistency update coming out. Okay, now that's gonna be all for that playback. And if you didn't include our Tuesday, which was a $650 loss, then it'd be right about break even on the week. But if you did limit your profit target right here, I just set mine at a big number. I usually set mine at $1,200, as I just said. So if it hits $1,200, then it stops trading for the day. And if you did do that, then actually you would be up right around 1,000 on the week there. So big difference in settings. That's why you're gonna want to play around with it. And also, if you wanted to mess around on other time frames, I can show you other time frames, because they do work a little bit differently. But yeah, you can really test it out on whatever you want. Okay. So just gonna disconnect from playback and reconnect here. Give me a little longer of a video, but if you're interested in the gasoline trader, probably watch the whole thing. So same week here on the 5-minute chart, and we're gonna change it. We change it? No, we'll leave it the same. We'll see if we get anything else different. Okay. It's gonna change how the indicator actually plays. Okay. So if we play this, some of the trades are going to be identical, and some are going to be we might get some differences. So Monday looks like 2 trades up 1,900, and if you remember on Monday here before, we actually only made 650. So 2 wins there. And again, we're just gonna let this run. It's gonna take a little bit, but you can mess around with it. You can change the settings. You can change the triggers, so that you can, you could run no triggers if you want. They're there for a safety net, obviously, but definitely you can mess around with them. And again, we're going into Tuesday here. We wouldn't be trading Tuesdays usually, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, big loss there, and made a little bit back. So taking a lot more trades on the 5 minute, right? So lost about $600 ish on that day, 700 maybe. Took a lot more trades because the indicator that we have down here, which is what it takes trades off of, it is a lot. Obviously, indicators are different on different time frames. You can think of it like a EMA. 9 EMA is gonna look different on a 5 minute versus a 30 minute, right? Same kind of thing here. So there it looks like, I don't even know, that looks like a little bit of a big loss there, like a little bit too much, but ended up losing about $1,200 there that day. This is Wednesday. As I always say in the Discord, Tuesdays and Wednesdays they're quite a bit different, or quite worse than the other days. But if you remember here, this was Wednesday. We got a long trade here on the 15 minute, and then this was actually a long trade that we caught. And then so that was Wednesday was actually a win on the 15 minute, but a loss on the 5 minute. So again, you can mess around on different time frames. You can back test, see which days you probably shouldn't turn the strategy on, right? And just play around with that. So you can obviously see the 5 minute is kind of performing poorly, which again is why we usually run the 15 minute, and I set my profit target to only $1,200, and it stops trading on the day. Because if I did that last week, we would have ended up right around $1,200 on the week. And again, this can change. Can change user to user, right? Some people do get different entries than others. You got to remember that. So trigger really saved us there. You can see that. So it looks like if you, yeah, I mean that's 5 minute. That's a 5 minute ended green. I think Tuesday was a loss. I don't remember. What was Tuesday? Tuesday was the 24th. That was right here. So a long trade loss. So yeah, we lost like 800 on Tuesday. So again, if you did not trade Tuesday, you would have ended up 1,000 roughly on the 5 minute time frame during the week. So not like the prettiest week by any means. But it is, I mean, you can test all this stuff, right? You can test months back. I'm just showing you guys the bare bones of it, right? You want to play around with the strategies. But I mean, just to tell you guys this, my mother is testing this out. She doesn't know how to trade at all, and she passed her 150K account within a month. She made like 10 grand profit on it within a month. Not a lie. So it does work. Just really depends when you want to trade it, right? If you notice Tuesday and Wednesday tends to lose for whatever you do, then don't turn it on Tuesday, Wednesday. If you notice, you can test it during the day too. You can trade it during the day. So if I wanted to do this, we can set the time end to 239,500, and that means it'll end basically at midnight. Okay, that's basically what it is. And then you can go back and play that. And I'll just show you guys a little bit of this. Why we usually don't run it during the day, because it is a lot more volatile, and this tends not to do as good on like volatile trendy days. So we'll keep it on here. This is the market. Not necessarily going to get into trades every time during the market because the indicator has to be above or below the red or green line to take a trade. There, it just took a long trade, little win. So you can, another long trade there, another win, so up $2,500 on Monday. So you can have it trade 24/7. You really can. It's just it is riskier. So look at that. Short into the next day. This is Tuesday, up $4,000. So again, you can mess around with this. You really can mess around with it. We're on the 5-minute time frame. Another short. We're up 4,700. That's a long trade. Little win, 4,900. Let's test it out. Let's just let it run the rest of the week. Let's see what happens. I haven't tested this out yet either, so I'm curious. There, I don't even know, were we in a short? Looks like we were in a long. Lost a little bit there. Getting hit with a couple losses. So letting it run during the day is very risky. Usually it doesn't perform as well during the day. You can see we just got hit with some big losses. That would have been about 4,000 drawdown, but we made it all back. You can see on that big dump, it took multiple trades. As I said, when it's a trendy day, it tends not to do well. And it trended down heavily there. And it lost. It tried to take 3 or 4 trades there, and it lost heavily. Lost heavily there. So you want to make sure you're having the right sized account. All the way down to 1,500 now. So losing some, gaining some. Obviously, it only matters what happens long term, right? Only matters what happens long term. Another long trade as it's falling, right? It's trying to catch a knife. As I just said, trendy days tends to not work as well. It tries to catch longs on a dump. It tries to catch shorts as they're rocketing up. It just doesn't. That's not how it works, right? Like it shouldn't be doing that, really. Or that's why you shouldn't be turning it on. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, all the way down to negative now. Now we're negative on the thing. Again, and this is all off of just you need to test, right? You need to test what works for you, right? Some weeks that I've tested on the 5-minute here actually end up like 15 grand. And you can see Monday, Tuesday, we were up like $5,000. So it depends on the size account you have. Depends on, if you want to arm it on certain days, all that. But a lot of potential, right? I thought I'd just show you guys what's going on, how you can play around with the settings. It is net positive over the long run. You guys need to know that. But it is an automated strategy, right? It'll do what you tell it to. The 15-minute time frame is what I recommend. I also recommend setting your profit target to $1,200. If you did that, you would have ended green last week. And also the 5-minute, or what was it? 5-minute, if you would have ended green as well, if you didn't trade Tuesday. So a couple options there. But yeah, it is net green long run. Hasn't been performing as well since that war started. You need to keep your eyes on the news. But yeah, that's all I got there. Thought I'd show you guys some market replay and what you need to be careful about with it. Okay, so leave your comments down below. Any questions or concerns, and thanks guys. I'll see you.